competitive. Allowed 13 goals, made 12 saves last week. Sawyer Allen and Shea Keithler out for the opening face-off. And Allen looked like he was going to have it, but instead it comes away to the Terps as the ground ball is scooped up by A.J. Larkin. Maryland on the attack first, moving right to left on your internet dial. This is free, nothing there, so he'll keep moving it around. Back to X, getting topside. Watkinson with a big save as Urksa is denied to start the game.
What's always interesting, Glenn, to me is in the very beginning of a game, it's not something as you don't have what they say are a lot of alphas on offense, like guys that are pure scorers. And so it's an offense that's going to have to work together as one in order to find openings and get their hands free. Secondly, because of the face-off situation, meaning Loyola not having a lot of face-off opportunities or wins, they've been playing a lot of defense, Glenn. So it's an opportunity to provide more rest to their long poles.
Another big part, of course, the legendary Kelly family. They're going to trigger a reset, so I guess they say that Watkinson got a piece of that?
I think the other thing to think about, Glenn, is does Maryland have stretch shooters? I think Kelly definitely is a stretch shooter. Outside of that, I don't know. It remains to be seen. That's another reason why you may want to go to his own here.
Yeah, long defensive possession right now for the Hounds. They got to dig back in. Terps work it back down to 30. Urksa gives it up. Skip pass back to X.
Houlihan doing a great job on that interior because they're trying to find Kelly or who's ever on the crease on the inside for that quick pop.
It looked like Ford was going to have the defender hung up, but a great job of getting back. Down to 15 on the possession. Hounds, this would be a huge stop. And Max Watkinson gobbles that up.
Great save there by Watkinson. Great communication by
Top, and already down into the final 10 seconds again. Still looking for their first shot of the game. There it is, but it's denied. On the run, McCarthy got a good look, but McNaney denies him now in transition opportunity.
On the slide.
A deflection, but Stovall is able to hold on to it as the next group is out there for the Terps. Running shot, Watkinson again, denying Kelly. Boy, Max Watkinson came to play today.
He has. He's seen some of the beauty of Logan McNaney on that last possession. Sees the ball well, but has such soft hands and then a quick release.
Yep. Minikis making his move. That's a parent goal. Side netting. Four seconds, going to have to pull the trigger, and another save from Watkinson denying Spanos. Opportunity for Loyola to push.
They don't have numbers. This is kind of that second.
So much high-level talent. Spanos makes his move. His path cut off.
Great help by Remy Reynolds on the inside there. I'm wondering if at some point they'll opt just to try to have Spanos go one-on-one just to get them on the board and get them going.
Some good harassing defense from Callahan. And hits the turf, still loose. EB scooped up by Wilson.
This is big here, Dan, because look at Maryland initially cut off Watkinson, any type of release there, and then you see the
not going to be good enough.
It's not even just physically, it's mentally now that you have to hang in this for another 75 seconds.
They've done so much work defensively. They got to go back and do it again. Again, going to the zone from outside.
What did I say?
Yep, it's normally how it works. Daniel Kelly gets the Terps on the board with 3:24 remaining in the first quarter.
And in this particular possession, Glenn, it wasn't anything special because we haven't seen a shot from the outside so far. And what we heard from Coach Toomey was Max Watkinson has a flair for the dramatic, which we've seen, but sometimes struggles on your 10 to 12-yard shots.
Believe it or not, with 3:24 remaining, that's our first goal here in this contest. Daniel Kelly with his fourth of the season. The Terps draw first blood here in Baltimore. The Patriot League is on ESPN. Showing why it is that they are legitimately a national title contender again. Urksa, as the flag's going to come out. Contact up high. Maryland will go on the extra man for the first time today.
That just lackadaisical. They let Urksa get on the inside. Then another bad approach there, leading with stick. That's Remy Reynolds instead of body. And that
Terps already in front 1-0. Patient here, knowing that you'd have possession afterwards. Jack Dowd, the Salisbury transfer up top. They work it to the middle, and another great save from Watkinson. This time to not. Does work the next group. Brady Quinn operating from back at X.
Well, a little bit something different here is Quinn inverts behind.
Makes his move, gets in front, but McNaney just makes that look routine.
Well, he had decisions on shot selection. And now you see Maryland playing a little 5-on-5 as they have A.J. Larkin on the far sideline.
About an 8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock, so Maryland content to work some clock here, make sure that they have the lead going into the second quarter. Instead, that's just cleanly picked off. Nice play by Houlihan.
Loyola defenders have done a fantastic job so far. Carson Hall out for the Greyhounds, Glenn. We know that he's a serviceable faceoff man, but where he adds value is he's athletic, and like you're seeing now, he can as they say, scrum it up, muck it up, and he comes away with possession.
First faceoff win of the day. Spanos.
And there are a lot of new faces out there.
Again, they start to slide towards him using Remy Reynolds. Works back to Keegan on the near side. Keegan just tosses it up for grabs. Plucked down by Callan. Off guard, like, hey, they think that we're going to hold on to the ball deep into the shot clock, maybe make a move. And
it's such a judgment call if you leave it up to the hands of the players. It's a judgment call.
Everhart will operate from back at X. Jackson Canfield defending him. Everhart gets it off and gets the Hounds on the board.
I think Canfield was just confused there, and sometimes that happens defensively. Maybe not confused, but you relax. Once a player gets above goal line extended, it's fading away from the cage, and if they're not known as a shooter, you tend to relax, and you'll see that here with Canfield as he provides too much space, and Everhart is able to beat McEnany, who I think was surprised as well. So right here, he drifts high. I think he thought maybe he was looking on the inside.
And he's the sophomore from New Jersey. He used both guys last week. Obviously, that's one of the big storylines this season for Maryland, replacing the great Luke Weirman.
So lately, Glenn, offensively, you've seen Loyola invert behind. Now they're not going to so much invert from behind, but they're going to attack from the corner.
Minikis goes kamikaze style in front. Now what's the call? The flag's going to be out either way. They're going to call it a goal. Matthew Minikis puts the Hounds in front.
Dodging from that corner, Glenn, can be really difficult for a defender because of the angle. Particularly if you have a left-hander like Minikis who's adept at getting in the inside. The defender has to worry about the pick. It's difficult to get an understanding of where you are, so the goalie has to communicate clearly, and the slide becomes
Maryland, but that same season, a big early season win against Hopkins. Last year, a big early season win against Georgetown as that one's checked out. Reynolds doing the work. Not going to be able to get the ground ball. And Watkinson again gobbles it up. They get it back. Trying to get a little advantage here with Murphy flying in. Murphy pulls the trigger and scores.
I was just getting ready to say, Glenn, here's one of those situations. Do you go or you pull it back? But they're feeling it, and they went, and they converted.
Luke Murphy makes it 3-1. 3 unanswered goals from the Hounds here in the second quarter. They've come to life. The crowd is feeling it. Luke Murphy.
I love the placement. This is not an easy pass to catch, but I love the placement. Offside low to a left-handed goalie, difficult to save, and you can see the enthusiasm from the Loyola sideline.
Energy is real at Austin Hall. That one.
Now, I was going to say, worst case scenario, Loyola forces the ball back, making Maryland clear, and now you see what's happening.
Opportunity for a ground ball. This is a big one.
That's a
the
great
Terps
ground
come
ball
away
by
with
Spanos.
It. Yep.
Great ground ball.
Particularly given all. Drifting back. Stobaugh.
So they're clearing the side. He does not attack to try to get on the inside.
Spanos.
But what they do is they get the switch. Spanos is going to get his hands free.
Does get him free. And did that sneak over? It did. Spanos ends the run for the Greyhounds. Makes it 3-2.
And what Loyola had been doing so well previously, they did not do well there. As Spanos went through 3 different defenders, meaning he got passed to 3 different defenders, was able to get to the interior of the defense and get his hands free. That's 1, there's 2, and there was already 1 prior to that, and he gets on the inside. Tough save there for Watkinson.
First of the game for Eric Spanos, the preseason All-American. First of the season. Better and be ready to play their best lacrosse come April and May in order to win a Patriot League tournament.
Great point.
Out of the timeout, Hounds ball, leading 3-2.
Maryland does a great job there on the ball screen. Loyola does not get the switch they want to the short stick.
They have not been quite as deliberate here in the second quarter offensively. They've been willing to go a little bit more.
And you see, Minikis is a player that's going to need help in order to get his hands free. He's going to be a second pass type of offensive player.
Oh, that's a dangerous pass to the middle. Not sure what the thought was there.
So what you're seeing now, then Loyola gets a little execute upon consistently. They are a tough team to beat.
I mentioned, of course, having to replace Luke Weirman, their outstanding All-American face-off specialist, but also Ajax Zapatello.
Oh, Loyola's got a problem here. Loyola's got a big problem.
No stick, and it's going to work out for him because that ball will bounce to Vinny Trujillo. Everhart gets free. Didn't have much angle to work with. McNaney able to cover it up.
You know, it wouldn't. And here you go. You see,
I didn't say I would trust you with my wallet.
This dodge from this angle does not go inside. Gets the pick from behind. Will spin it back up top. But unfortunately, Minikis still has a long pole on him. You get it to the weak side, and here we go.
So down to 12 on the shot clock. Murphy trying to feed it underneath. Wow, how did he sneak that through to Haberman?
Well, I don't know, Glenn. And that's really just Maryland probably falling asleep a little bit in their on-ball defense and not seeing what's happening underneath and on the back side. The challenge, though, right now is you still have 9.4 seconds.
Sure, and they can move
and they can push it forward. Excellent offensive set here by Coach Van Arsdale.
Haberman right in front. His first of the day, his third of the season.
So the slight opening there causes the defense to begin to continue to execute in the areas that we need to in order to be successful today. Basically, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves.
Just haven't been able to win faceoffs. Carson Hall's going to get called for the slash after he lost that one. So Maryland will have an extra man coming up if they're not able to take advantage of this possession to start the third quarter. I'm going to guess that wasn't on the menu.
That probably was not scripted, Glenn.
So now what does Maryland do to take advantage of it? Keegan trying to make his move in front, and he has it poked out.
Maryland continues to try to jam one advantage here for Loyola. This is just a 30-second.
Yeah, it's just a push, not a slash.
And a lot of times in today's game, you may only see one shot.
Or might not shoot because you have 50 seconds more possession after that. Second extra man opportunity of the day for the Terps. They were not successful on the first.
Interior defense for Loyola is doing a great job.
And it comes free. Watkinson gets to it. And he scoots it. Well done to goose that out so that Joe Houlihan could come up with it.
Got to be clean on this clear.
So another penalty that will continue. Although some of the success they found offensively in the second quarter, Chris, was when they did decide to try to make a move earlier in the shot clock. I don't know about that one, however, from Minikis.
I know about it. That was not a good look. They found what they wanted. They got the short stick on Minikis, but he got too greedy.
For McNaney, that's his sixth save of the game as the shot is fired in wide by Eric Kohler, the short.
Well, does not get the short stick.
Down to 14. Hands free, but that is
not a bad shot there. Offside high, though, with a screen.
Wide from McCarthy, 10 seconds.
McCarthy's a nice-looking player. Big, strong, fast.
They like him a lot. West somehow gets that off and somehow gets it to go.
And you can see McNaney point to himself saying that's on him. Again, 9 times out of 10, he's going to make that save. May have just been surprised or guessed wrong.
First of the day, second of the season for Brady West.
He gets topside. No slide comes to the short stick. Gets his hands free, rotates his hips. Back of the net.
5-2 Hounds. The Patriot League is on ESPN. Bruno Chapman getting some run. Everhart gets in front, and I'm going to assume that's not what you're looking for.
And again, that's we had success on that on the last.
Doing it for 60 minutes, not just resting on the fact that you've played 36 minutes worth of defense. There is still an eternity to go in this game. Keegan trying to dig in, throws it away. Chance for a ground ball. Reynolds gets to it.
First time ground ball.
Back to Everhart.
And then we'll probably just go from here, just invert from here.
Haberman got to make his move. 5 seconds. And he is slowed down, feeds it in front. Oh, boy, they got a much better look out of that than I expected. But McCarthy denied by Logan McNaney. Jake Wilson giving him no quarter. Down to 20 on the shot clock. Keegan, he's got the short stick on him.
When two come from the inside from Loyola, Maryland has to react more quickly.
And that one's covered up. He fed it in front. Whittier got to it.
Great decision. Remy Reynolds wanted it on the break, but you had a long pole.
Well, we can score here, get a face-off, and get another. As Chris Gunkel noticed there was someone that was standing by there lonesome.
I was worried Loyola was only going to have 5 defensively.
Ball's on the turf. Reynolds not able to pick it up cleanly, but on the third try, he comes away with it.
I mean, Glenn.
Boy, this is Houlihan tracks it down. You still have 12 seconds. Carson Hall out to the dot to start the fourth quarter against Shea Keithler, Glenn Clark, Chris Gunkel, our tremendous Patriot League on ESPN crew, and a face-off win for the Hounds.
Now, this is where you got to be clean. They are. Excellent job.
Good ground.
Philosophically, how you're going about playing defense.
Greyhounds have been methodical all day.
Same set. They get to the weak side.
Murphy, path cut off, backs it out, sends it back up top. Sent to the middle. Haberman spins free, but he didn't have a shot. Loses the ball.
You got to be a lot cleaner when you get the ball on the inside against a defense like Maryland. You can't.
About last year was that they did it without having that true alpha offensively. I don't think they still have an alpha at this point.
If anyone, you would think it might be Spanos on cue.
And how about that?
And that was caused by a slip by Maryland, maybe some communication. But Spanos is probably your guy if you're going to, label somebody an alpha. And as you can see there, when he gets his hands free, he knows what to do with it. So, look, Loyola goes high defensively. There's a trip, and then there's utter confusion on who's going next. Easy conversion for Spanos.
Yeah, true.
And let the chips fall where they may.
You got to convert. I still don't know that 5 goals is going to be enough to win today. Up top.
And Loyola has not had a man up today yet, Glenn, right?
No, they have not. Haberman, nothing doing. Midway through, Chapman. Thought for a second he might try it. And then
another turnover by Loyola.
It's that next group that was out there this time. Dixon trying to win it back. Trouble, you would think.
And you get a flag.
Yeah.
So here you go if you're Loyola. Now you're starting to commit uncharacteristic plays that are providing opportunities for Maryland. The discipline we have.
The first 2, but both of those were 30 seconds.
And we talked about the turnovers. Loyola has been great with keeping sticks in the lane. But as you get tired here in the fourth quarter, sometimes you forget to do that. It's critical in man-down scenarios. But they're trying to find that pop on the inside.
Of course, Louis Dubik, the extra man specialist. Boy, that one was nearly knocked away. Instead, Spanos knifes his way through, gets the extra man tally, and it's a 1-goal game.
Yeah, it started with the skip pass that caused the problem, and then really the next issue was a really poor approach by number 4, Michael Callahan. It was undisciplined and overly aggressive. And now you're seeing, again, Spanos start to take control as the leader of this team. So skip pass causes a problem, bad approach, easy conversion.
And you saw how tantalizingly close Chase Gregory was to knocking. Maryland scored the first goal of the game. They have not been able to get it tied back up since it was 1-1. 10 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. Supporters of both teams, and Urksa ties it up.
All day long, Maryland had done a really good job on dodges down the alley by not getting high and letting them on the inside. And they have forgotten to do that or have been unable to do that in these past couple possessions. It may be due to a lack of endurance, Glenn. You can see right here, in decent position, gets too high, uses his stick instead of his legs, no slide.
Urksa's first of the day, getting it right back. Loyola was on the wrong side of two separate 6-0 runs last week in the loss to Georgetown. Right now, they're on the wrong side of a 3-0 run. Keegan, Houlihan much quicker to come over with the slide.
Great slide there by Houlihan. Now does it create a matchup, though, for Maryland that's advantageous to them?
Whittier makes his move, doesn't have the angle. And getting in front, Maryland's got 4 straight. Spanos has his 4th of the day, and the Terps are in front for the first time since it was 1-0.
Yeah, and Jake Wilson's really having a tough couple of minutes here as he's been scored upon 3 times. In that particular scenario, he falls asleep, and Spanos creeps behind him, and Spanos is now taking control. As you see, again, Jake Wilson loses his man, turns his back to the ball watches.
A problem, particularly with their face-off issues. And that shot doesn't get through Ford. It comes all the way back towards midfield where it's kept alive. Great
that's a
job.
massive ground ball for Maryland.
Daniel Kelly comes away with it, but he throws it away. Gives it right to Seaman.
These guys a little bit more opportunity to rest. You see Loyola now shifts back to his zone. They've been playing a ton of defense.
The next goal will trigger a media timeout, but if it's a Maryland goal, that'll be 5 straight and a 2-goal deficit with under 6 minutes to play. Huge play. Massive CTGB for double R. Remy Reynolds, boy, thinking about it. And oh my gosh! I can't believe he took the shot. I can't believe it got through.
At that moment, I thought he is going to be buried on the bench for the next 4 games. Wow, what a change of events. And then to your point, we get a media timeout.
CTGB pole goal. Remy Reynolds, the highlight machine. We got a tie game with 5:31 to play in Baltimore. The Patriot League is on ESPN.
They didn't take advantage of it.
10 seconds. Minikis, 5, just dumps it in front, nothing doing.
Well, you made him play defense for a long time. If there's
down in terms of this early season scheduling,
they haven't backed down today.
Nope.
If you can see, I mean, Maryland is the physically bigger team, but Loyola has not backed down at all.
You can follow,
they have been the tougher team today.
You can follow the Patriot League on social. Instagram, Threads, X, YouTube, and LinkedIn, all at Patriot League as Maryland goes back in front with Daniel Kelly.
Yeah, and Loyola's losing their discipline, Glenn, on these down screens as you're having now like 2 guys drift to the same guy that's leaving the opening for Kelly there. It's a real shame. As you can see, they're in decent position there, but 2 guys drift over. They have 3 guys in one spot, and Kelly converts.
There wasn't anyone within 4 yards. Hall and Crater, and Hall does a great job of scooting that out.
This is going to be tough. This is going to be tough. They're going to reverse it to the weak side quickly. On the short stick.
It'll be Minikis operating. 50 seconds on the possession clock. About 2.5 remaining in the fourth quarter. It has been a very entertaining game. Quinn, nothing there, feeds it up top.
And here we go with Mitty on the backside.
And an early shot.
And a terrible shot.
Both teams have 1 timeout remaining.
So here we go. Dodge down the alley. Behind, down screen, drag up top. Go to the weak side.
Keegan. Dodging left. Keegan pulls the trigger. Watkinson saw it the entire way. Maybe a little bit of a gift there.
Now you got to clear. I would say the same thing.
It will still be Everhart.
Now, does Brady West actually set a screen? Does he back out of it? And here we go.
Schaller with them. Everhart trying to get free top side. Everhart will get the look, and oh my gosh, he got it!
You got to be kidding me.
2.2 seconds left.
You got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. Maryland played that about as well as you could play. There was no switch, forcing him away from the cage, and somehow he sneaks it on the inside.
Keenan Everhart with 2 seconds remaining.
I mean, look at this. They play it well. We can't get the screen. There's no switch going away from the cage.
Somehow able to tuck it in that near post.
Wow.
Keenan Everhart, what a home debut for that young man. For the entirety of overtime.
Glenn, I got a feeling if Loyola wins, it's Remy Reynolds that's going to convert this thing.
That's a bold prediction.
It is, but you have to do things differently to get ahead, Glenn.
Carson Hall did well to keep it alive, but not able to come up with it. Maryland will have possession. Stamos
defense on that short stick.
Down to 30 on the possession clock. Keegan again engaging. Keegan shoots low and wins it. Maryland rallies in the fourth quarter and survives a dramatic late tying goal from Everhart to get a winner from Matthew Keegan in overtime and an 8-7 victory.
Yeah, I think Watkinson may have gotten something on that, but what you see here is Maryland just starts attacking the short sticks. Glenn, it's a simple answer, but the short sticks seem like they've just run out of gas here in the fourth quarter. So on that particular play, it was really difficult from the beginning. Trujillo lost a step initially and couldn't even make up the difference. And Keegan provides the difference for Maryland.
And with that, our player of the game presented by Anchor Mechanical will be Matthew Keegan for scoring the game-winning goal in overtime for Maryland. His first of the day proves to be the difference.